Right, now my job is to introduce you to a real star of the show, the person you always want to talk to, because she gets so many calls, on pensions and anything to do with retirement planning, my co-director and total, absolutely brilliant head of pensions, Claire Trott. Here she is. Here she is. Here's Claire. Thanks.
Thanks. No, oh, I'm really loud. No pressure then, Tony. Just saying. I'm going to, while Derek sorts out the slides, I'm going to do a quick show of hands to see if people know what I'm going to talk about now. Put your hand up if you are completely and utterly happy with all the rules and understand everything that's gone on with the abolition of the lifetime allowance. Go on, Martin, you can come and do this then. I think that was a sarcastic hand up there. Well, clearly no one from HMRC here, because I'm sure they would put their hand up and say they are completely happy and they understand it. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they don't. That's for you, Simone. Don't quote me on that. We're going to talk about, when it loads, the new world of pensions. This whole fiasco, I think, is probably the way to describe the abolition of the lifetime allowance. Or maybe just this year. Last year was actually quite easy. I think last year it all made sense. Get rid of the tax charges. We all understood that. I think the reason they've gone the step further is because it's much harder to reinstate the lifetime allowance when you've got rid of it. Because last year they didn't actually get rid of it, they just got rid of the tax charges. And the biggest issue here is not the new rules. It's not how it works for somebody retiring today for the first time. Everyone agreed that's actually quite easy if you're just starting from scratch. Not difficult. As with all of these things, it's the transition. And we're going to talk about the transition. We're going to talk about how that works, because that's actually the biggest challenge in all of this. I don't have any learning objectives because I forgot to put them in, but they are in the pack somewhere. But we're going to talk about the different allowances. We're going to talk about how the standard calculations work. We're going to talk about the magical mystery transitional tax-free amount certificate. Who needs one? Who doesn't need one? Do they make any sense? What are the flaws? What's still outstanding? What do you need to know about people retiring? How does it work? What are we testing? And if we have any time for questions at the end, yes, I will answer the question, do I know anything about what's going to happen? I'm going to start with that. No, I don't. Literally have no idea where we're going with all of this. I'm missing my little thing. So the LSA and the LSDBA, I've now got the acronyms in my head. So the next time they change them, I'm going to be doomed. There's also the OTA, which I'm not getting into, and actually I think is still even more of an issue for a lot of people, well, for the regulators and the legislative writers, because there's still a number of outstanding queries. I think there's 105 FAQs now on this, and the last two basically say, I don't know, which is helpful. Highly recommend having a quick read through those. They did a consolidated version in one of the pension schemes newsletters. I think it was like 158 or something. I always get the numbers wrong. But this is where we are. So we used to have the LTA. I think we're all well aware of that. We've had it for many years, 2006, all the way through to 2024. And we knew it and we understood it, and it was percentages. And for people like us who love numbers, maybe it's just me, who love numbers, percentages work really well because we know how it works. Things can move up and down, and we can work out how it works. But your average bod on the street doesn't like percentages. I'm pretty sure that somehow we've got to some of this. Percentages aren't that simple in an individual's head. When we're dealing with multiple different people and multiple different levels, percentages work wonderfully. When you're one person and you've got one number is a lot easier. And I think this is kind of how we've got to where we've got to. We don't have one number, though, because that wouldn't work, because it's pensions and I need a job, and they've got to make it complex enough to keep me in business. So we now have technically 3 numbers. We've got the LSA, basically, what can I have tax-free while I'm alive? Or staying alive and being healthy. Then you've got the LSDBA, which is what can I have tax-free while I'm alive, when I might be nearly dying and when I'm dead? Because it encompasses serious ill health lump sums, and that's where the nearly dying bit comes in. And then we've got the overseas transfer allowance, which is what can I transfer overseas? The overseas transfer allowance isn't technically connected to the first two, although there's still a chance that could change. Everything I say needs to be caveated with, there is one paragraph in the Finance Act 2023 that says we can make changes to anything in the Finance Act 2023 using statutory instrument. It doesn't have to go through primary legislation. And that is how they're fixing all the errors. But it also means unintended consequences can also be fixed that way. And that is in force, I think, until April 2026. So there's still plenty of time for things to be tweaked and things to be changed within those regs. They had to do that because the regs were pushed through at speed, fundamentally flawed in a lot of places, and hadn't been consulted on properly. They didn't go through the usual process of Parliament. So there wasn't a discussion on the paper, there wasn't on the bill, there wasn't a discussion on that. They didn't go through in the same way we've seen major changes in pensions go through before. So that's why we're in the pickle we're in. That's my nicest way of putting it. It's why I have my inbox filling up daily with queries and questions of things I can't answer. It's why providers, and some of you in the room will be providers, cannot necessarily pay out benefits. It's also why HMRC have taken the stance of putting something on the internet that says you may want to consider not taking your benefits. How is that where we should be? The allowances may look very similar, and this is the thing. Things we know, things we understand, most of this is very, very much the same. It's the transition, it's the change of the numbers to the, or the names of the percentages to the numbers. But you'll see 1.0731 million. I still hold Rishi Sunak responsible for that figure. It's a stupid figure because he doesn't like rounding. That's the simple answer. When he was Chancellor, every other Chancellor rounded up to the nearest 5,000. The rules state you have to round to the nearest 100, and he chose to stick with that. So that's why we have 1.0731, and I will never forget that number, however long I live. Actually, I really hope I will, but I suspect not. But we've got all the other protections. All the other protections remain in place. But they become more complicated with moving from a flat percentage-based calculation that we can, apply to all these different things. And if you lose a protection, you lose a protection. And you reapply that percentage to a different number. You can't do that now. So it's all of those different things that we're dealing with. But as I said, if you start from today and you've got your standard person and they're retiring today, they have tax-free cash, pension commencement lump sum, LSA is their limit of 1.0731. We still have all the other limits, like you can only take, as they've now reworded it, 1/3 of the amount going into income, which is the same as 25% of the amount crystallising. All of that still applies. So you've still got the same restrictions. But the majority of my queries and questions that come in are about the conversions. How do we convert from what I've done previously to what I've got available? This is the standard. So there is a section 3 that talks about the transitional tax-free amount certificate, which is different. The standard calculations, the standard conversions are actually quite simple, but as with pensions, in all ways, there's always a quirk. There's always an if and a but and a maybe. So they're the things we have to remember. But this is the simple one. What it basically does is say, we assume from what you crystallise, you took 25% of it tax-free. So that is an assumption. And we know that's not true for a lot of people. They might have taken more, they might have taken less. But the standard assumption is that we've taken 25%. And if they don't have a protected lifetime allowance, didn't have a protected lifetime allowance, I suppose I should say, then it's applied to the 1.0731, and you get to a figure. That figure reduces not only your lump sum allowance, but your lump sum and death benefit allowance by the same amount. Again, there's an if and a but, and we'll get onto that in a minute. But that's the simple calculation. But we know that's not the case for everybody. This is a really important point. That doesn't apply if you've taken 100% of your LTA. If you've taken 100% of your lifetime allowance, you are deemed to have 0 LSA and 0 LSDBA, which is a problem. Because actually, if you think I have taken 99% of my lump sum allowance, or my LTA, sorry, so I'm getting things wrong already. If I've taken 99%, 1.0731 less 1%, not worked it out, then you would have an LSDBA. So you would have tax-free lump sum death benefits available, and it would have deemed you only to have used just shy of 25% of 1.0731. So it doesn't feel right. But there's a way around it, obviously. They did sort of, this is where some of the backtracking sort of feels like it came about. The regs go in there, say 100%, you can't have anything. Oh, that's not really fair. And that's when the transitional tax-free amount certificate comes in. That's where we have to do extra work. And extra work that can be completely destroyed if your client goes off and does something without asking you. Such as, I'm going to take a bit of tax-free cash from this plan over here. Oh, I'll tell my advisor about it later. Then they can't have a transitional certificate, which is a complete nightmare. There's another if. If they've had a serious ill health lump sum, which would have been 100% tax-free, it is deemed that the whole of your lifetime allowance that you've used was serious ill health. Whether it was or wasn't, you could have had £1 of serious ill health lump sum from a scheme you had over here that I just cashed it in as a serious ill health lump sum. It deems everything else to have been serious ill health lump sum as well and would reduce your LSDBA by 100%, not the 25%. Which again doesn't feel right, and again you could get around it by getting a transitional tax-free amount certificate. There's a bit of a theme here. If it isn't what happened to you, then that's what you can do. You still deemed to have used 25% of the lump sum allowance then. So here's a look at the calculation. I'm not going to go through it, but as you can clearly see, it's relatively simple. 80% of 1.0731 times 25%, and you're using the same amount of the LSA and the LSDBA. And you take that off. So when you come to die, for example, you would have available lump sum and death benefit allowance of 850-odd thousand that you can use to pay as a lump sum death benefit. What I haven't said here is if I was actually just to put that, however much money I had, into a dependence drawdown, none of these tests apply on death. It doesn't matter what your LSDBA is on death if you put it into dependence drawdown. Do you remember the original policy statement that came out in July, just after they issued this? There was a one-liner in there at the bottom that said, although we're going to abolish BCE, I can't remember whichever ones, 5C and 5D, which is dependence drawdown and dependence lump sums. No, sorry, dependence annuity. It doesn't matter because it's taxable anyway. Throwaway comment. That isn't what happened. There was uproar in the meetings. I think it was one of the meetings where we were allowed to speak because HMRC turned off the ability to speak in some of their meetings. We had to type our anger, which was quite amusing. 150 pensions techies typing angrily at HMRC. It's quite amusing. They eventually just gave up. They just couldn't, they closed the meeting, I think. But they did backtrack on that. They said, oh, but that's how it works, isn't it? And this is where we get back to the point of they're all public sector. That is how it works for them. Another discrepancy. You're a public sector worker, you're in a public sector pension scheme. It's a scheme pension. Scheme pensions are not tax-free on death, whereas a dependence drawdown is. So this is where we've got discrepancies. This is where you see things feeding in because the people writing the regs have different pensions to a lot of the people on the street who are having to save into a pensions pot and make decisions rather than being provided with 80ths and 3 1/80ths and all those things we love. All those things I learnt about in this room years and years and years ago. So some with the protected LTAs, you can see, will use up more of their LSA and use up more of their LSDBA, but the starting level that you're taking it off, so their standard LSA, LSDBA, is higher. I'll get onto this a little bit later, but the thing we always have to remember with these new rules, it's not, you don't record what's left. I did have to remind HMRC of this, but you don't record what's left. The regs clearly state you start with the full amount and then you take off the things you've used to get to what's left for the next time I do something. So the issue with that is, well, I've lost protection somehow, and then my starting level is then lower, and then you take it off, and then I've got nothing left. And maybe that's deliberate, but it's different to how we used to deal with it because it was a percentage. It would just shrink proportionately, whereas it doesn't now. Serious ill health, as you say, same scenario, but as you can see, the lump sum death benefit allowance used is quite significant. So, transitional tax-free amount certificates. Another show of hands. I'm hoping I might see a few more this time. Who has applied for a transitional tax-free amount certificate? A few of you. Who's had them back? Slightly less of you. The transitional tax-free amount certificates, again, I think are probably driven slightly by the public sector type of scheme, because some of them had cash in addition. Some of them, the commutation rates were downright rubbish, 12 to 1, you know, not that great. People chose to take the guaranteed income with the inflationary protection and all of that. And they took that decision at the time because they were 60, they were going to live for 30 years, whatever, really good value. But if they've got other uncrystallised funds now, they get a second bite of the cherry because that would have used up lifetime allowance. So on the standard calculations, you could say, well, I've used up the lifetime allowance, therefore I'm not entitled to any more tax-free cash, no pension commencement lump sum. But if you've got uncrystallised benefits and you didn't take your full whack of pension commencement lump sum at the time, you're now getting a second bite at the cherry. It's very rare in pensions regs to retrospectively protect something. You protect things at a point in time, generally. We think about A-Day, we think about 2006, enhanced protection, primary protection. What have I got now? What am I entitled to today? I can protect it going forward. This is retrospectively protecting what could have happened under today's rules for the last 18 years. It goes all the way back to 2006. I should say it doesn't go beyond 2006, although initially we were told it would do, it doesn't. So it only goes back to 2006. You can only apply for one of these if you have an LTA percentage used. That's our starting point. So if you only took benefits pre-2006, you will not have an LTA percentage used until you crystallise something. And you won't get one now because it's not an LTA percentage used anymore. So anyone who only took benefits pre-2006 cannot have a transitional certificate. Anyone who has already crystallised benefits since 6th of April on or after the 6th of April 2024 can also not have one. They had to apply for it before they take benefits. So although we can retrospectively protect things that may or may not have happened years ago, we can't retrospectively get a certificate if our clients happen to take a little bit of tax-free cash from somewhere this tax year without getting a certificate first. These certificates should be relatively easy to get once you've got all the information. How easy is it for you to go to a provider and ask for some documentation from 2008, 2007 about how much tax-free cash your client took or didn't take? How easy is it to prove you didn't get something? It can be. It depends on how strict the provider is, because this doesn't go to HMRC. HMRC are not making the call. The call goes to the provider, the next provider at which you're crystallising. And there's a lot of confusion over that. So I've waffled on about it. Let's look at it. So what it does is it basically says, what cash did you actually have between 2006 and 2024 versus what your percentage of LTA used would be deemed against your standard transitional calculations I showed you a minute ago. This is where your help comes in for your clients. This is really where you can add value, because we've seen a few of them where clients have gone, I've seen these certificates, I saw them in the paper, I really want one. And then realised they had protected tax-free cash back in the day, and they're going to screw themselves over by applying for one. Because if you apply for one and it makes your LSA lower, so your remaining LSA lower, so uses more, you can't say, I don't want to use it. I want to give it back. I want to tear it up. HMRC have outright said, if one is in existence, it must be relied on. So take, for example, somebody who's got protected tax-free cash, so they had 100% of a fund that they crystallised at the time. Say it was as simple as 100,000. They crystallised a standalone lump sum, crystallised 100,000. That would mean that they'd use 100,000 of their LSA and LSDBA if they got a transitional certificate. That's roughly 10% of the lifetime allowance. So it would be significantly less. It should only be about 25 grand that it deems should be used. So they'd be losing out on 75 grand's worth of tax-free cash and 75 grand's worth of lump sum tax-free death benefits. So quite significant if you get it wrong. Also quite significant if you fail to apply for one when you should. I mean, we've seen cases where 350 You know, they could get extra tax-free cash of 350. They took virtually the whole of their lifetime allowance when it was 1.8 million. They took no tax-free cash. They've got protected lifetime allowance, and therefore they can claim back that unused. Is it useful? Well, it depends. Have they got other pension benefits in which to take the tax-free cash from? Because if you haven't got uncrystallised pension benefits to take it from, it doesn't matter. You can't just take it from crystallised benefits. I'm still waffling on. So who can have one? Anyone who had a BCE from 6th April 2006 to April 2024. They haven't already taken benefits, as I said. Both of those things I've also said as well. So the applications need to be made to the next provider. That isn't actually in legislation. It is in guidance. You could, in theory, apply to any provider you have pension benefits with. There are some slight anomalies with the fact that if you've only got pension benefits and you're planning to buy an annuity, who do I apply to it from? Because I'm likely to be buying an annuity from someone else, and you can't apply to it for them because you'll have been put in to buy an annuity from them by the time you go to them. So I think most providers would be willing to be able to process one for you, because all we're doing is basically adding up the evidence that you're providing to them, or the client's providing to them. What the regs say is full and complete evidence of what happened. So the important point of that is you can't mix and match. So you can't say, I want LTA percentage for this one because I haven't got the evidence, and I've got actual fixed amounts that I knew was taken over here, and you can't squish them together and get the best outcome. It's an all or nothing. So you get to the point that you've got all this information, and maybe you've got an old scheme that's gone under and you can't get the details, and it all happened years and years ago, and you haven't got the evidence you had. I mean, you would have been provided something at the time, but it doesn't mean you've still got it. You can't go to the scheme if they're not around anymore. You can't therefore get one. There's no universal place that holds all this information. So they just couldn't have one. So again, it's back to, it's not necessarily fair, it's difficult to evidence. So people that should get one, I've got a couple of examples that I'll show you, but people that should really consider them, it's those people that didn't take the full tax-free cash entitlement. That's a bit of a given, it's nice and easy. But that's not entirely the deciding factor. They might have taken no tax-free cash from a scheme over here. They might have had protected tax-free cash from a scheme over here. They might have taken standard cash from a scheme over here, all at different times, all at different lifetime allowances, all using different percentages. So you need to combine them all to work out whether or not they're going to be better off or worse off by applying for one. There are some great calculators out there. Some you can access free of charge here, there, and everywhere. And they're definitely worth looking at. It's not a difficult calculation generally to do it yourself, because basically you're looking at lifetime allowance percentage, so the standard calculations I showed you earlier, versus actual physical cash taken. That's what we're looking at. If the physical cash taken is lower, then you probably want a certificate. If you've used 100% of your lifetime allowance, again, you probably will think about getting a certificate, even if it is just to give the option for lump sum death benefits. Because a lot of us clients will not use lump sum death benefits. They will use dependence drawdown. Dependence drawdown is not tested against any of these allowances. So you don't need one. But what happens if the beneficiary at the end of the day goes, actually, I want a lump sum? That can generally be facilitated through dependence drawdown and immediately taking benefits out. But again, you're not around. They start doing something without speaking to you. Having those allowances in place probably still makes sense. So we had a point in time when the lifetime allowance was less than it is now. It was 1 million, 1 million, 1,030,000, 1,055,000. When there were nice round numbers before Rishi got his hands on it. Those points, when you calculate the actual cash taken, so go to the extreme version, if I crystallised a whole of a lifetime allowance when the lifetime allowance was 1 million, the max cash I could have was 250. So if I've got some residual funds now and I get a transitional certificate, that will say my LSA used is 250 because that's the maximum I took and that's all I got. So I can have another 18,000 quid or so. That's obviously the extreme example. For those 4 tax years, that is the most extra you would get if you took your max cash at the time. So you take 50% of your LTA, at that point you only get 9 grand extra. That's 9 grand tax-free. You're a 40% taxpayer, 45% taxpayer, I'd still do it. You know, it still makes sense. Doesn't mean people have to. There's the hassle factor. I always say there's a hassle factor versus the tax factor. Some people it's important, some people it's not. For you as advisors, I suspect it's important because all those pennies count. Getting anything, paying less tax is always a win because it means money lasts longer. Something I learned from Tony. Pay less tax, money lasts longer. I mean, I could have probably worked it out myself, but he's told me it for the last 20 years, so I will remember it. There's the age 75 issue, and this is a really important one. This is, again, where the regs are wrong. Well, I don't know if they're deliberately wrong or just they forgot about it, which seems to be most of the issues. If they reach age 75 last tax year or before, you will have had an age 75 test. That will have used up lifetime allowance and will not have paid up tax-free cash. Does not pay tax-free cash. As a default, age 75 test did not. The standard transitional calculations now don't care which lifetime allowance test it was. It just cares about your lifetime allowance percentage. So if you've got someone who's coming up to 76, 77, the LSDBA is irrelevant, I should say, at this point, because everything's going to be taxed on death, whatever you do. But they can still take tax-free cash. But you can't take tax-free cash if you've used up your whole LSA. What used to happen, if anyone remembers, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, used to happen is you ignore your age 75 tests when you calculated how much tax-free cash you had left. So you go, what happened to my age 75 test? Oh yeah, we'll just ignore that, that's fine. We'll work out what my lifetime allowance was immediately before. Now, say they had fully uncrystallised funds when they hit age 75 last tax year, but their fund was 1.0731 million, for example, or more than that. It would have assumed they'd used 100% of their lifetime allowance, so there'd no lump sum allowance, no lump sum death benefit allowance, as I say, the second's slightly irrelevant. But that would be your standard calculations without a transitional certificate. Whereas historically, they'd have been able to take their 268, 275. Now they can't without a transitional certificate. There's nothing available. So be really mindful of those. Anyone who hits age 75 this side of the tax year, ignore everything I've just said, it doesn't happen because there's no age 75 test anymore. Woo. At least that's one win of this, there's no age 75 test. So your LSA and your LSDBA just carry on. We've got those who transferred out to CureOps. I'm not going to get into this because I don't really deal with overseas transfers particularly a lot, but that will have used up lifetime allowance, BCE 8, and no tax-free cash would have been paid. Might have been a double count, so they might have crystallised in the UK, then transferred overseas, various things like that, you know. Depends if they've got any money here still to be able to take benefits from. Disqualifying pension credits. Do we all know what disqualifying pension credits are? Most nods. Basically, you got a pension credit, so you got divorced, and the bit that you were given was from a crystallised fund. So it had paid tax-free cash in its previous life. You get it, it's uncrystallised, but you're not entitled to any cash. So if you'd crystallised that, started taking some income from that, it'd have used up LTA, but it will not have given you any cash. So you can prove that. You could then get cash. Again, you have to have uncrystallised benefits to take from it. Other restrictions, such as those people with GMP. So you cannot commute GMP for cash. So there are a lot of small schemes out there, fully GMP, so you couldn't commute those. So they would have been restricted to the amount that you could take. So again, they're actually quite easy to prove because it quite often just says on there, you can't have any cash, this is all GMP. Most schemes would probably accept that. But in addition to all that evidence, you also need to provide the LTA percentages used because they will try and tally them up. So here's an example, and this is a sort of classic public sector scheme, 80th plus 3 and 80th, so you get a standard cash in addition to your pension, in this case 3 times, but it uses up more than your 25% in essence. So this would use up 40.18%, we applied that to the standard transitional, and it would assume that you used £107,000 worth of your LSA. But you will remember to go and apply for a transitional certificate, and you can say, actually, I only took 56 grand. So you're going to get your client significantly more tax-free cash at the end of the day. Again, caveated with you need enough uncrystallised benefits to benefit from this. And then we have the ones where they took, this is the 50% example of how taking it when the LTA was only £1 million. There is much more advice surrounding this. The advice isn't necessarily everyone should go and get one. The advice is looking at whether it's worth doing, whether or not there's going to be a detriment, collating the information, helping the client, working out, have they got available benefits to take, available uncrystallised benefits, to actually make the difference? Someone the other day was like, I can apply for a transitional certificate and it will get me another £100,000 worth of LSA. You've only got 50 grand's worth of uncrystallised funds, you're not contributing, and your available LSA is way more than that anyway. Why would you? You could. I'm not saying you shouldn't, I'm just saying consider it. Again, hassle factor versus benefit to client. So they won't always be a loss by not doing it because they need to have those benefits. So just a quick one on taking benefits. The really important thing to remember about taking benefits now is it's all about the tax-free lump sums. It's got very little to do with the income. The income there is really just there to limit the tax-free lump sums because we need to, they've got the LSA, and then they're saying, but you still need to be limited by 25% the amount you're crystallising. So that's the only reason we're interested, really, in those. Every time we take benefits, we need to go back to, what is my LSA? What am I then taking off because I did things pre-2024? Nearly said 2006 then. What am I then taking off because I've taken benefits since then? I just remember there's one extra thing on the transitional tax-free amount certificates that I failed to mention, which is the pre-2006 rules. So the pre-2006 rules, because you didn't have an LTA percentage, if you've crystallised between 2006 and 2024, do you remember how we tested those against the LTA the first time we did it? The deemed benefit crystallisation event. So it was deemed because it didn't really happen, but it used up lifetime allowance and it couldn't cause a charge. So what we did is we assumed tax-free cash had been taken from that pre-2006 benefit. And we assumed that by multiplying the income at that first point that you took benefits post-2006 by 25. Not 20 like we do for crystallisation now. So 25, divide it by 4 to get the tax-free cash deemed. We were told that they were going to change the rules so that we could factor in those as actual cash taken. They changed their mind, so 14th of March 2024, regs came out. Surprise bit in there that basically says any pre-2006 benefits, it's the deemed crystallisation figure you use. So when I say you don't use LTA percentage to calculate any figures that you're going to use on the transitional tax-free amount certificate, that's technically a lie because it's only things pre-2006 that you do. I kind of get it, I guess, because it's a long time ago. And you're going 2 regimes away. So, you've got the post-A day regime, the pre-A day regime. You're going back to the pre-A day. And it would probably be quite, you think these people have had this money in their pocket for at least 18 years and not revalued it, so I guess. But it is a real detriment to people who didn't know, didn't do something, and therefore didn't crystallise benefits. Generally the unadvised, I might add, because most of you guys will have been well aware of crystallising benefits to lock in an LTA percentage used. But again, complicated, not very good for your average bot on the streets. Relevant lump sums, that's all we're interested in now. The yellow box is important. The yellow box is important because this is again about death benefits. If you crystallised all your funds last tax year, yep, you probably got no LSDBA left, but nothing will be tested against it because they're ignoring pre-April 2024 benefits that were tested against the lifetime allowance when testing on death. It's important because you're going to end up with possible, I've got a pension over here that might be subject to an LSDBA, I've got a pension over here that isn't, I've got a pot that's got both of them in, and what am I taking benefits from? This is working. I think my mic's just died. I'll just shout louder. Still outstanding issues. My biggest fear with this is the unknown. So I know of a number of outstanding issues. I know of a number of questions I've asked HMRC, and I've known of a number of questions they've replied, and I've gone back and go, your regs don't say that. There's a lot of them. The biggest issue, and the most probably the most important to the average person is the protected tax-free cash rules. So there's three issues with protected tax-free cash, I should say. The first one is the most important because it's how do I calculate how much they can have? And HMRC didn't understand their own calculation, and when they put it into the regs, they replaced the number 3 with the number 4. It was as simple as that. So basically said, take what pension you've got, divide it by 3, multiply it by 4, add the tax-free cash, at which point you've got more than 100% of the amount that you're crystallising and it all goes wrong. Many, many, many people told them about this. The day the election was called, I saw draft regs that corrected this, but they've not happened. They've not gone through because the election. On top of that, there was an error about how you then deem how much lump sum allowance is used. It should be 25% of the full amount crystallising. It isn't. It's some other random number. And then there's also the rules regarding how much LSA and how much LSDBA do I need to have to actually even take one of these. And the rules currently say you need some of both, whereas it shouldn't be. It should only be LSDBA. So many rules surrounding that. There's also issues with enhanced protection. So enhanced protection from pre-2006. So the all singing, all dancing protection. You know, can't get any lifetime allowance charges. The rules say we'll fix it now at the amount of pot, pension, wherever it is, that you had on the 6th of April 2024 in that arrangement. And it's those words that cause the problem. So if you then move it, the arrangement you're in today had nothing in it on that day. The arrangement you were in had something in it. So if you stay where you are, all is fine. You move it over here because you don't want to be over there. That figure's 0 because you're not in it anymore, and this figure's 0 because it was over there at the time. Again, they've said they're going to fix it. We've seen regs that they're going to fix it. It's not happened because of the general election. I have one other that I've asked them about, but actually it's in favour of the client, which is all about, again, their misunderstanding on the use of percentages, which is early retirement ages, so footballers, that sort of thing, age 35. So how it used to work, the lifetime allowance was reduced by 2.5% for every year earlier than age 50, you accessed your benefits. So you'd just end up using a more percentage of it because it was a lower amount. So when you then took it later, the percentage was the same, the figure that you applied it to was higher, but you still had a reduction. Well, because we all start with the LSA at the point in time, every time you do something. So we've got someone, they reduce it by 10 years. They say they're taking it at age 40, reduce it by 2.5% for each of those 10 years, and you reduce your LSA, but they don't take the full amount. They only take 20 grand or so, or 60 grand. 60 grand's a nice easy number. Take 60,000, they've reduced their LSA, it's still more than that. They get to age 55, their LSA's been reinstated because they're not taking it any earlier, but the figure that they took has not been increased, reduced, or anything. So you go, well, they took 60 grand here, I've got 268 here, I take 60 grand off, and I've got full quota, even though I took this one really early. I've got some confused looks. The point is, it doesn't work because they are still thinking in the world of percentages. And this is where the problem comes.